All right, lesson 2 has to do with finding slope also, except now instead of being given a graph, we are going to be given just 2 points. And so we're going to use the slope formula that's used to find slope between 2 points. And so, 2 points are like your x and your y. So the reason they have these little ones down here and these twos is because like this would be considered your first ordered pair and that would be considered your second ordered pair. So the formula is m equals, which is for slope, and then they do y squared, or not squared, but y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, technically, you could reverse that, and it could be y1 minus y2, and then this one has to be x1 minus x2. So either way works, that's an x. But if you have the y2 first, then you have to make sure the x2 is here first. Okay, whoops. So let me scroll down here. Okay. So on the first one, and then we have to simplify, of course. So at number 1, we have the ordered pair 1, 1 and 4, 3. So I'm trying to make it zoom in. All right. So sometimes it helps to do like X and Y on top here, just so you remember for like kind of a visual. So you're going to do M equals, which is slope. And then I would just figure out what way you like to do it best. I guess I always just start over here and I go 3 minus 1 because those are my y's. Because remember, it's change in y over change in x, or it's rise. This is your rise. And then the run would be 4 minus this other one over here. And so we get 2/3. If you did 1 minus 3 over 1 minus 4, you're going to come out with the same answer. It's just going to be a -2 over -3, which is 2 over 3. Okay, the next one, slope is -2 minus 4. There's my y's. And since I started with -2, then I have to do 10 minus, and make sure you do -2. And this would be a great time to not use your calculator and to practice your basic facts. So on the top, we have -6. And on the bottom, add the opposite, and we have 12. And so that equals -1/2. So what this means is if we plotted this point and plotted that point, then the slope between them, we would go for -1/2, we'd go like down 1/2, down or up 1/2, either way. Same with this. We'd plot these 2 points, and then we'd go up 2/3, up 2/3. Okay, so I'm not going to do the math for all of them because as long as you get the routine down, the math should be easy. So I'm going to have you go ahead and pause it and do a couple of these. Oops. And so why don't you go ahead and do 3 through 6 and then come back. Okay, so if you look at number 3 here, I got 5/2 after I reduced it. It was -10 over -4. Number 4 is -1/3. Ask if you need that worked out. I did work out 5 and 6 because 5 ends up with 0 on top. And so when you reduce that, it's 0. And then number 6, since the 0 is on the bottom, and we can't have a 0 on the bottom of a denominator, so that would be an undefined line. And if you think about it, if you graph those, whoops. So if I draw a little chart here, and if I graph like -7, 8, that's going to go back left and up. That'd be about the right space there. And then -7, 5 is going to go back and then about right here. So it is going to be a straight up and down line. Okay, so go ahead and do Pause it and do 7 through 10, and then check back. Okay, on 7 and 8, you should have gotten -2 and -3/2. So double check your work if that's not what you got. And then 9 is -1, and 10 would be another 0. Okay, and then 11 and 12, go ahead and do those. I'm going to do it both ways. So you have -2 minus -9 over 3 minus 5. Or you could have done -9 minus -2. And then I have to start with 5 minus 3. Either way, your answer is going to be 7 over 2, and it should be negative. And then the next one is going to have a 2 over 0, which is your undefined. Okay, so then we're going to go backwards. So sometimes you have to complete the ordered pairs, and you're given the slope. So remember that the formula is m equals, and then y minus y over x minus x. So if the slope, if they already tell you the slope is -4/5, what you're going to do is you're going to fill that in for the m. So I'm going to write -4/5 equals, that's a 5. And then one of the points is this, and here's the other one. So we're going to do y minus y. So we're following this formula here. So 6 minus y over -5 minus 5. Or you can do it the other way around. You could do y minus 6 over 5 plus 5. Okay, so I'm going to erase this here so I have some more room now. But you know you're following that formula. And then you go ahead and solve it. And remember when we solved proportions in our equations unit? So we are going to do, you can do 5 times 6 minus y, and it's in parentheses because it's a 2 terms. So we have 30 minus 5y equals, and then we're doing -4. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do this first. So that's -10. And then we have -4 times -10, which is +40. And then we solve it like an equation. So we're going to minus 30. We get -5y equals 10. And so we get y equals -2. And so that goes right there. So as long as you follow, it helps to write that formula out. So if we write it out over here, and then you just plug them in. So if they give you the slope, which is what they're doing on all of these, you plug that in there. So we have 2 equals, and then we do 6 minus -2 over x minus -3. Add the opposite. And since this is 2, we know there's a 1 on the bottom. And so 1 times the 6 plus 2 is 8. Okay, so we have 8 equals, and then remember you're taking that 2 times all of that in there, and that's add the opposite. So we have 2x plus 6. Oh my golly. That's x, and this is plus 6. And then we're going to minus 6, which gives us 2. I'm going to write it over here, equals 2x, and then x equals 1. And hopefully you're listening because that does not turn out right. Okay, so go ahead and pause it and try the next couple on your own. Try 14 and 15. Okay, 14 should have been -2. 15 would be 5. So I'm going to go ahead and write the rest of them in. So you pause and do them. Make sure you star the ones to ask about if you can't get them. So number 16 is 8. You would have had negative 1/2 equals, and then 3 minus 2 over 6 minus x, or the other way around for both. Number 17 and 18 are 9 and 16. I would think by now you're catching on. And then 19 and 20 is 8 and negative 6. Hopefully you are working those out.